this week on the Bubble Chat.
The motherfucker said, I'm about to give you about, the random acts of kindness. I'm picking you. You know, $50,000. I said, well, go ahead, damn.
Even if he was on drugs, if he really was, I don't believe he would have left anything in the closet. He knew he was going to that hotel to do what he did. I just think they all should be very careful because people change up. And sometimes, you're working with people that you think have your best interest, and all the time they just be messy and straight haters like the devil. But it ain't nobody's business. But if you get caught doing something, or you get accused of doing something, and you're guilty, don't even deny it. Just say, yeah, I did it, because they're gonna find out. Yeah, and they're gonna find the truth out, and when they do, you're gonna look stupid for lying in the first place. I divorced at a very young age, but we had to understand. Matter of fact, we went to divorce court, and we didn't fight. So the counselor was like, y'all sure y'all don't want to get back together? Or, because we just never was mad.
He's become a friend and a mentor, and it's rare to find people like that truly want to help you succeed and get to be a better person. And it's important that you find them, because so many people are scared of either competition or sharing their secrets, that, it's going to take their shine away. But that's just not the way it works in reality. I mean, it's the opposite. Like, you help someone get somewhere, they're going to remember that. Hopefully they're going to help someone get somewhere. And that just plants a seed of gratitude, and it forwards the progression of everybody. It doesn't make you worse to help someone. It makes you better.
And there is a motorcycle club here in the Bay Area.
Hells Angels.
Huh?
Hells Angels?
No. Like this. Not like this. Like this.
I don't fucking know.
Okay. Hey y'all, it's your girl Shay Sugar with the founder and co-host that get on my MFing nerves. Just kidding, show on. Welcome to the Bubble Chat, where we dive into the conversations that matter, the moments that inspire, the stories shaping the world around us. Each week, we bring you a mix of entertainment, culture, and commentary, blending humor, insight, and a sprinkle of drama to keep you on the loop, to keep you in the loop. And a sprinkle of drama to keep you in the loop. Whether you're a first-time listener or a part-time of the family, the Bubble family, there's always something fresh to discover here.
This is a space for those curious about what's trending, those ready to unpack the juiciest tea, and those seeking a bit of reflection amid the chaos. We explore topics ranging from pop culture and personal stories to pressing social issues, always with an open mind and a touch of wit. Here, every perspective is welcome, and every story has a place. Our episodes aim to be more than just conversations. They are moments to connect, laugh, and sometimes even challenge the way we see things. From deep dives into the latest headlines to sharing behind the scenes juices of our creative journeys, we're here to entertain, inform, We're here to entertain, inform, and engage. Whether you're tuning in or doing your morning coffee or winding down a long day, we got you covered.
Well, hello everyone. My name is
We're thrilled to have incredible guests join us along the way, each bringing their unique voices and experiences to the table. Together, we'll uncover stories that inspire change, spark joy, or simply make you smile. And of course, we'll never shy away from the bold and unexpected, because that's what keeps this thing entertaining.
So settle in and get ready to chat. This is the Bubble Chat, your go-to podcast for the stories of pop biz. Excuse me. So settle in and get ready to chat. This is the Bubble Chat, your go-to podcast for stories that pop, fizz, and bubbles in the... I love all your words, Nick. So settle in and get ready to chat. This is the Bubble Chat, your go-to podcast for stories that pop, fizz, and bubbles their way into your lives. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and join the conversation. We are glad that you are here. And as Wendy Williams once said, hot topics, how you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
Mm-hmm. Well, all right. So here's the
Oh, wait,
scoop.
hold on. I think Mom wants to share something.
What? What?
Oh, so did you not go on a New Year's Eve and New Year's tour recently?
Oh, I did with Lunell.
And how was that? We love you and Lunell.
Oh, we love you too. It was really fun. As you know, we did the show at the Paramount, which was epic.
Yes,
And I
very
said I
good.
didn't see you, and then you called me. Of course, I didn't have my phone. Amber had my phone. And I forgot to even mention that to you. My bad.
I
But
was to the right. So if you were looking out, I was to the right.
oh, well, that was incredible. The fact that it was like a town business thing. I represented Richmond, represented the Bay Area.
Mr. Fab did a good job hosting.
Yes. And then Too Short and the
Mark
dance.
Curry was amazing.
Yes, honey.
You were too.
Thank you. And then Lunell, of course, closed that thing on out.
Hey, Manger.
So from there, we went to that next morning. We had to be on 4 a.m. We had to leave. I had to be at the airport at 4 a.m., San Francisco airport, 4 a.m. So we left there, went to Washington, D.C. From Washington, D.C., we went to back to Vegas. Then from Vegas, we went to Nashville, Tennessee, which was New Year's Eve. And that was a what do you call it? That was very exciting. And it was a trip because Lunell's baggage did not make the plane. So she didn't have her bag. So I had to run and get makeup for her. And, she was upset because she didn't have her clothes, nothing.
Right.
And so she ended up going on stage because her bag was on its way on the next flight. And so she ended up having to go on stage for the first show at the City Wineries without her clothes. So I went and got her makeup and I got her some eyelashes. And she liked the big fluffy eyelashes and they didn't have those. So I went to the Mac counter and we did what we could do. And she looked pretty, but she just was just like a little innocent doll. So while she was on stage, her assistant, MM, came on the stage and whispered in her ear, "Your bag is here." And she had already told the story to the audience what happened, and that's why she wasn't all dressed up. And so she was like, "Oh, I just heard news that my bag is here. Y'all want me to go change?" And they was like, "Yes, go change." So she ran to the back. I went back out, did some more time on stage.
Come on now.
Entertained them, and then she was ready to come out. She got dressed fast. She beat that face, honey, put them eyelashes on, everything. So she came back out and she surprised them with her outfit. So it was really a good thing. It seemed to be a bad thing, when it first happened. She was upset, but she was just like, she just threw her hands up like, "What can I do?" And it worked out good, and it was very exciting for the audience. So that was fun. And then from there we went back to Vegas, and then I hung out with her for a week and just, chilled at her house and cooked and did what we do. So it was an incredible time. Yes. And I'll be back out with her next month.
Can't get enough of that black girl magic, especially when it's homegrown in the Bay Area.
That's right. And bloodline.
Well, if you can take a note from anything, bubblers, I need you to understand that the show must go on. Okay?
Show must go on.
You got to do until the mic motherfucking drops.
Amen.
All right. Well, we'll be waiting, looking out for all your future shows coming up, and we love all the endeavors that you do because you are tremendously funny and talented. We love you so much here at the Bubble Chat.
Thank you.
Well, moving forward, here's the scoop. Kelly Rowland, yes, I'm talking about the Kelly Rowland from Destiny's Child. We're talking about that chocolate drop Barbie doll. Well, she recently issued a warning to her fans on Instagram. Apparently, there's been a phishing scam that's been going on about a fake a fake account pretending to be her bestie Beyonce. Can you imagine? The fake account was reached. The fake account was reaching out to people, asking them for personal details, claiming that they could win prizes or even exclusive experiences. Kelly Rowlands jumped on Instagram stories real fast, shut that shit down, and told them people don't fall for the scam. It's a scam. She made it clear Beyonce isn't sliding anybody's goddamn DMs, asking for your goddamn credit card information. It's wild how creative these scammers are getting these days. They're preying on fans' excitement and love for their favorite celebrities, which makes the situation even more frustrating. Kelly didn't just warn her fans, though. She made it a point to remind everyone to stay vigilant and verify any accounts before engaging. A solid reminder that not everything online is as what it seems.
Right.
And she also warned the scammers that if they're going to make text messages more believable, make sure you spell plane correctly, or just fucking say airplanes. I mean, damn. Now, returning the mic to you, bubblers. Have you ever encountered a scam like this? Maybe it wasn't Beyonce, but have you ever seen a fake account pretending to be celebrities or even friends? You guys are victims out there. Y'all getting stalked these days?
Well, I remember this. I remember like just a couple of years ago, I almost believed that it was one of my TikTok friends. I mistaken. I was on my old account at the time. It was on my old Instagram, and then I accidentally, excuse me, I accidentally gave him that password because it was the message was more gullible, and then and then I blocked, and then when I realized that it wasn't one of my TikTok friends, I blocked it immediately, and then a few days ago, my account was like logged out. Like I couldn't log it back in. It was asking for the two factor, so I had to create a new one from scratch. That one's doing well, but I learned to turn the two factor on, so that way I can get the code. And I also almost fell in love with a couple of these phone calls when I was approved for some kind of loan, whatever it is, and then I like told him that I didn't apply to it, and then I hung up. And then I told mom about it because like I didn't even apply to any federal or private loan, just my student loans. But I just like hung up, and then if I can also remember, there if I can also remember, I've been getting a couple of fast track messages saying that I haven't like pay my fees, and I don't even drive. I don't even use fast track. So, but I definitely didn't fall for that. But it just goes to show you how some people can pretend that they're the others, and but in reality they're just asking you for money and for personal information. And I almost fell. And when I was like 17 years old, I almost fell for my grandmother's one of my grandmother's messages where she just wanted a lot of money, and I realized, and then I called her about it, and she said that it wasn't her. So yeah, note to self: don't fall for scams. How about you, Donnie?
Yeah, I had Bishop T.D. Jakes. It was a fake page with Bishop T.D. Jakes, and he had I thought it was him, inboxed me and we talked or whatever. And then he mentioned donations and stuff like that. And I was like, oh yes, I could send you a donation or whatever. And so I went to Western, at this time it was like using Western Union. So I had went to Western Union to send a donation thinking it was Bishop T.D. Jakes.
No.
And the customer service rep who, was doing the transactions told me that there was some scams going on from Africa. So it was an African plan to be Bishop T.D. Jakes. So we called it right before I sent the money. It was only $50 that I was sending, but
But I
Once
could
I
have been a
started,
whole third world
once I
country
put,
for
once
3
you said
months.
that, I put two and two together. I think I was just so excited. I was like, oh my God, I'm talking to Bishop TD Jakes, whatever. And then another time was Kevin Gates
No.
had, yeah, and I really thought it was I really thought it was Kevin Gates, and I was talking to him and all of that, and I was like, you should get back with your wife, and he's doing,
Mm-mm.
yeah, and all the time, wasn't even here. So that was that.
I almost got scammed one time.
Mm.
The motherfucker said, I'm about to give you about, like, the random acts of kindness. I'm picking you, $50,000. I said, well, go ahead then. I took a screenshot of the Cash App QR. He's talking, I need your account information. So I gave my Venmo account. I was trying to work him. I said, you better get out my motherfucking box. I'm gonna beat your ass. You ain't got this money. You playing with me. I just went on and blocked them and count them all the blessings the Lord has given me moving forward. You got to rebuke the devil.
Yeah.
Another thing I want to mention too is that when it comes to scams, sometimes people be like, dude, what do you
Sometimes,
think?
sometimes people what?
Hold on, did one of you just burped?
No, I didn't burp.
She bought it.
No, I did not.
Anyways,
I would have said, excuse me.
anyway,
Someone got a house broken.
anyways, what I want to say too is scammers sometimes they will like ask you for more and more and more money and in most serious cases like this it could lead to sexting, it could lead to forcing people to take their own lives, and it just like I said, it just goes to show you how believable these scams are and how we need to be more careful.
Mm-hmm.
Very true.
All right, well, moving on. This will probably be a conversation between me and Adonis. But next on the agenda, dancer and Stephen Twitch Boss's widow, Alison Holker, took to social media to speak out after the rumors of using her late husband for financial gain started spreading in her post. In her post, she firmly denied the accusations, calling out how hurtful they were, and she expressed how much she's been focusing on honoring Twitch's memory, taking care of her family, and continuing the work they both were passionate about. She also made it very clear that she's not trying to exploit anyone for personal gain, and she's simply been sharing her journey like so many of us do on social media. In her response, Allison took a moment to remind everyone about the importance of supporting one another, especially in the midst of difficult times. It's clear that while she's been open about her feelings, she's also been trying to stay focused on the bigger picture, keeping Twitch's positive legacy alive, especially for their children. Now, Bubblers, we want to hear from you. Do you think it's fair for the public to question someone's intentions when they're grieving? I'll start with you, Adonis.
That ain't nothing but a blue-eyed devil and a money-hungry heifer. Ever since she did this story in People magazine, the wrong publication, the right and the wrong one. The wrong one, if she was trying to do it for her black men, her black led husband. But the right one sent out the wrong message to everyone. Ever since she did that interview, his brother, even his mother, friends, best friends, associates have come out and stood 10 toes down that man was a good man. That even when he passed away, if he had any dealings with drugs, they said that he smoked weed. They said there was anything going on with nothing in his bio, was nothing in his system when he passed away. Now, the oldest daughter is not his biological child. Okay, that little girl running around here acting like that white woman that was trying to be a black woman that was the head of the NAACP 2 years ago. Remember her? She around here looking like her daughter. She done permed her hair, got all curly, look alike, playing games. I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this. But what I do want to see and who I would love to hear, okay, is Ellen DeGeneres long click self and see what she got to say about this, because we wouldn't know nothing about nothing if it wasn't for her. And I'm not saying that she's a part of it, but she is the catapulting, pivoting point of his career, of why we know him and how beloved he has come to be in our hearts and all that kind of good stuff. But I'm gonna tell you that white woman is wrong and she's a dirty. See you next Tuesday.
I want to start off by saying this. When I first heard this story, I was like shocked, but at the same time, I don't know like the story behind, the accusations. Because like I'm not here to say who's right or who's wrong. I'm not saying that Allison's right. I'm not saying Allison's wrong. I'm also not saying that her family's not are right and wrong. I'm wrong. When it comes to like situation with this, I just know that Allison tried to honor Twitch's legacy however she can, with no intent of ill or harm. That is it. But at the same time, if I did hear something about the money.
What money? What happened? What you hear about the money? Run it. Allegedly, what happened with the money?
Stephen's family did speak up about how hurtful they were about the money issue, and in my opinion, I think that this is something that could have, would have, and should have been discussed during a phone call or with in person or anything. But like I said, I'm not here to say who's right or who's wrong, because I am not involved with what's going on over there. Anything you want to say, Adonis?
You both out the group chat, but I heard she was the doping. How about that? I heard she was the doping. She was a drug abuser.
Oh,
how about that? And if you want to rerun Lifetime stories, this is the O.J. Simpson, but we had ended up losing O.J. and the white woman was left over with the residue. That's what happened. That's what happened.
who was abusing drugs?
So Twitch, this is a guy that was part of the Ellen DeGeneres show,
Exactly.
and he was on Dancing with the Stars, and great impact, make people feel good. All
But who are you talking about when you say
his wife? Now he dead, and he been dead since 2022. Now she gonna bring her little pale ass to the screen on People Magazine, talking about she found a copious amount of drugs in the closet, trying to pick out his outfit for to lay him to rest. So she found all this dope, all these drugs in the closet, all this addiction, all this shit that he had going on behind her back. She didn't know wop. And as I said, since she did the show or did that interview in People Magazine, his friends, his best friend, partners, relatives, in-laws, everybody like, you was the dope thing, sis. You're the one with the drug problems. You're the one having, like, don't open up this can of worms. Like, you doing this for a money grab. And so when we're talking about his legacy, how are you upholding his legacy talking about he was on drugs? You know what I'm saying? That he may have died under the influence.
I don't even know if Twitch was on drugs or not.
And that's the whole thing. Yeah, so it's all these things.
But even if he was, I don't believe that. Yeah, even if he was on drugs, if he really was, I don't believe he would have left anything in the closet. He knew he was going to that hotel to do what he did. So I think he would have got rid of all that. But who knows?
It's a mess. And as I said, since then, the oldest daughter then come out and she's like, that's not my biological dad. Calling him by his first name, calling his mama by her first name. It's just a mess. It's a mess. See you next Tuesday, Allison. See you next Tuesday.
And I just want to start off by saying this real quick. Like I said, I did not come on this podcast to say who's right or who's wrong. I'm gonna make it like a who's right or who's wrong battle when it comes to news like this. Because, like I said, I am not involved with what was going on behind the scenes, and I don't know it's not my job to know whether Twitch was suffering from a drug addiction or any addiction. But yeah, that's my 2 cents. Probably that's my 55 cents. Let's move on.
Well, according to the report from NBC News, Skip Bayless is facing allegations involving a former hairstylist from his time at Fox Sports. The hairstylist claims that Skip made an offer regarding a large sum of money for sex to settle a situation outside of court, which has raised a lot of eyebrows. While the full details of the matter are still unfolding, the offer has led many to ask questions about the power dynamics at play, especially in high-profile world of sports and broadcasting. Skip's representatives have responded by denying the allegations, stating that the claims made against him are not true. As we know, situations like this can quickly get messy with different narratives coming into play. So it's important for us to keep an eye on how things develop moving forward. What's interesting here is not just the legal aspect, but the broader conversation about how public figures, especially those in high power positions, navigate their professional relationships in a world where, media and personal lives often intertwine. It's easy to see how things can get very, very complicated. So what do you think, Bubblers? How do you feel about the relationship between public figures and those they work with?
I just think they all should be very careful because people change up. And sometimes, you're working with people that you think have your best interest, and all the time they just be messy and straight help haters like the devil. So you just got to be careful about your team and really know that they are team you, because sometimes they want to take your place.
I agree. I'm gonna try to speak on both sides of this coin. From the celebrity side of the coin, celebrities do need to trust you. There is a certain bond and a connection and an energy exchange when you are dealing with a celebrity. But what we don't understand that most times celebrities are insecure, not basic, but normal human beings with the same feelings and thoughts and emotions that we all have. So we kind of like cater to them. We kind of usher them in a way to make them better, to be great in what their talent or what their skill is. Now, on the opposite side of that coin, I got my cosmetology license, baby. Skip, you could have been breaking me up. We could have been bumping off into the sunset and the horizon together. It's still bumping and getting it on all the while. But you asked the wrong one. Brandy said in her single, she said, I want to be down. No, you should have flipped it and said, do you want to be down? I would have told you yes. Now look at you. I got a whip and a chain on the nightstand next to my bed. Think wisely next time. Adonis Concierge on all hashtags and platform medias.
I agree with both Mom and Adonis.
Come on, let's get this money, nephew. That's what I'm talking about. Your mama got a license too. We put on the chopping block.
Hilarious.
I love it.
Well, interesting. Remy Ma and Papoose. Up next, the past month, Remy Ma and Papoose, one of the most beloved couples, at least until recently, in the rap game, have found themselves at the center of some serious allegations. And we're here to break it all down. So, here's the 411. Recently, rumors surfaced that Remy Ma may have been involved in an affair, which quickly started trending. These allegations, coming from an outside source, have put both Remy and her husband, Papoose, in the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. As you might imagine, the fans are divided, with some defending the couple, while others are questioning what's really going on behind the scenes. Now, both Remy and Papoose have responded, with Remy denying the affair and calling out those spreading the rumors. In a public statement, she made it clear that these claims are false and meant to tarnish her reputation. Papoose, too, has been vocal about his trust in Remy, and has shown support for his wife during these difficult times. As much as fans love them as a power couple, it's clear that this situation has put a strain on their relationship, whether or not the allegations hold any weight. So, people treat celebrities like they don't have problems and they don't have flaws and they don't make mistakes. So, I really believe,
like we all do.
I don't know what to believe, but what I do know is the truth shall set you free. And if that's what happened, then talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
But it ain't nobody's business. But if you get caught doing something, or you get accused of doing something, and you know you guilty, don't even deny it. Just say, "Yeah, I did it," because they're gonna find out.
Move on.
Yeah, and they're gonna find the truth out. And when they do, you're gonna look stupid for lying in the first place. You don't have to tell the truth. You can just say it's none of your business, but don't deny me.
On to the next question. I pass, or you can say
Yeah, I
1,000
don't want to
things.
talk about that. That's none of your business, and I don't have to talk about it. Kind of like Luther Vandross when they kept, accusing him to be a gay man. He just said, "I don't have to talk about that. I am being paid to make music for y'all. Y'all don't have to know my personal business. So you don't have to what do you call it? You don't have to deny
Expose,
it,
go
and you
into
don't have to
detail.
admit it."
But then here's the gag. Okay, now the double back
Right.
on the point with the Luther Vandross. He purposely never answered it because he did not want that to mess up his fan base. He did not want to disappoint his following by saying, "Girl, this ain't what you want." Right? Now we know that now.
Bless his heart.
Now he's passed and gone.
Yes.
So we don't know how embarrassing that would be for him if they came out and he was still living and alive today. Now this situation is a little bit
And back
different.
then, mama, you're right.
It's just a little bit different. But this all I got to say. Papoose, I need you to get your Bernadine on. Brother, gonna get a perm, slick it over to the side, make your barber upset, take Remy to court, and wash her for everything she got. Now, we know she will blast you over $300 in your kneecap. Okay? That's what she will do. And you held her down. You was looking at Poom Poom through them jail bars and you was there, you was all right. You didn't gave her that baby. You gave her a whole new life. You sat there down with her. You pulled your ace boom coon bottom kick card for her. It's time to cash out. I'm sorry, Remy, but you got it. And you's a big boy at the end of the day. You'll make some more money.
I think they should try to work it out.
Nope. Nope. You let me sit here roasting
we don't
my
even
chest
know the truth.
over the open fire. Cause he said while she went over there with that little weasel looking maniac man of a boyfriend for Christmas and then babysat him for 4 days after I cold cocked him and everybody synced it. Well, child, if you thought the benefit of divorce was messy, wait until you hear about this one. After being married for a few years, Chance the Rapper and Christian Corley have come to an agreement in their divorce. The couple, who shares a daughter together, reportedly worked out a settlement that includes financial arrangements and the custody of their child. While the terms of the settlement hasn't been fully disclosed, the big takeaway here is that the two have managed to reach an amicable resolution. Divorce can be tough, especially for high-profile couples, and broke ones included, who are constantly under the public scrutiny watchful eye. For Chance and Christian, it comes like they've managed to handle things with a degree of privacy and maturity, which sometimes we rarely see in the world of celebrity splits. Both of them have continued to focus on their respective careers. While Chance is working on his music, Christian is doing her thing in the business world. So, Bubblers, here's a question. We want to know your thoughts. Do you think that it's possible for public figures to go through a divorce without, spilling so much drama into social media? How do you feel about the way Chance and Christian have handled this situation here? How you feel, Shay? Have you been separated or divorced?
Yes, and when we separated, we were we had an understanding that we were going to be have a partnership, and raise our kids together. So, and I divorced at a very young age, but we had an understanding. Matter of fact, when we went to divorce court, and we didn't fight. So the counselor was like, "Y'all sure y'all don't want to get back together?" Or, because we just never was mad.
Yeah.
I mean, of course we both went through a lot of pain, but then when reality sunk in, we just did, we was a team. We just made it happen, and we still
That's
friends.
right.
Just so you know, you're not like talking about the divorce court show, right?
Right.
You actually went to an actual divorce court.
You was
went
up
to
there
the
with Judge Tola or Judge Maybelline?
No,
Right.
we went to we was in Martinez.
Oh, I just was Judge Gonzalez.
Oh, right. Something like that. I don't really know about. Sometimes I just when stuff get messy,
Uh-huh.
I just try to think positive because people always want to start some mess.
Right.
So I don't know what to say.
Well, I mean, my own situation. I mean, like I'm legally separated. I am yet to be legally divorced. I have my divorce finalized. We are in an amicable place. We do not want each other's money, but if you try me, I will wash your dirty drawers. But here's the gag. It's about who you marry. The character, the energy, the entity that you marry. That's what really matters.
Mm-hmm.
Social media just stirs the pot. That's extra salt and things that you don't
They
need.
sure do.
That's what you don't need in your recipe of divorce and separation. That's not social media like. So we can use Cardi B and Offset. Offset don't never say nothing. Evie Cardi B losing her motherfucking mind on social media. Do you want to know why? Because social media gives some type of connection. And all she wants to do is somebody to hear what she has to say. You got a mama, you got a sister, bitch, you got background dancers and everybody else. Why do you feel to put us in the group chat of your business? Now, every time you say you're going to leave him, you don't want him, guess what? You pregnant again. Didn't she just get did she just have the third baby? Did she just say she's pregnant again? You say you don't want him, you're going to leave him, then you tell everybody your business, and then 24, 48, 72 hours later, oh, bitch, I'm pregnant too. Now, we didn't need to know that. You can keep us out the group chat, love. You see what I'm saying? Now, I am not the celebrity that I am destined to be right now in this moment, but in my own ghetto hood fabulosity and celebrity, I might drop a dime, a token every now and then, but I just don't go for the juggler. I don't tell all my business.
But this was funny. I didn't see it for myself, but I heard that Cardi was on live and she was saying something, and then he commented and said, "You had sex with somebody."
Yeah, and I did,
and she said, and did.
Yeah,
that was funny.
No, that's nasty, but that's a Libran woman.
But it was funny how she said, and did.
Yes. Look, but you knew that baby was yours, though. You ain't gonna question the paternity while I was busting low and throwing it. I'm so done with this, Lord Jesus. We need to get some holy water and some holy oil. Put some water and some oil on it. Okay.
Hilarious.
Okay, now I have a surprise. Are you guys ready for a surprise? Come on up. So this is what happens. Bring the chair. So a few episodes back, I had my baby bubbler help us with co-hosting. So we're gonna. This is just. It's not a segment. It's just a time that we have now on the Bubble Chat. Okay, so this is when the baby bubble pops up. We got baby bubble, young diva in the house, and she's gonna
adorable
today. Okay, go ahead.
Who reminds me so much of my cousin Tia.
All right, right, y'all. We're going to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere. The Bubble Chat will be right back with more hot topics, juicy discussions, and everything you need to know. Stay tuned. We'll be back in a flash.
All right, you guys.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Bubble Chat, the place where we cook up a fun conversation with fascinating folks. Today's guest is someone who knows to spice things up, not just in the kitchen, but in life. He is a culinary mastermind, the winner of Hell's Kitchen Season 21, and the founder of Dallas and Jane, a restaurant that's so good, it's practically a taste of heaven. But seriously, I've watched Hell's Kitchen, and every time I think I'm not hungry, the show immediately makes me want to raid my fridge or my phone for a takeout. Let's give a warm welcome to the one and only Chef Alex Belew. Hello, Alex. Welcome to the show.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Cannot complain. Well, I could, but nobody would care, so I'll just keep it to myself.
Alrighty. So let's kick things off with the most important question. What's your favorite thing to eat when you're cooking for the world? And do you ever get tired of all the fancy meals?
Yeah, like I'd rather just eat a double smash burger.
At least you're honest.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a simple man. I just, greasy food is always the best. I mean, I try to stick to a pretty healthy diet, but
Same.
honestly, I'd
Same.
much rather just eat a cheeseburger.
Alrighty. Well, you grew up in Rover, Tennessee, where food was the heart of the home. And can you paint a picture for us of a Sunday afternoon in your grandmother's kitchen? I'm imagining a scene with biscuits flying everywhere and boiled custard in mason jars. Is that how it went down?
The boiled custard was generally just for the holidays, but I mean, whenever I stayed with them, she was making buttermilk pancakes in the morning and eggs and bacon. And I remember she microwaved her bacon on this little like plastic ridged bacon microwave tray or whatever it was. She was killing the chickens in the backyard that we were eating for dinner. It was the legitimate, like quintessential Southern grandma home cooking. It was the real deal.
Alrighty. Well, in 2007, you started Alex Belew Catering, and the idea was to create an in-home dining experience that rivals any restaurant. And I gotta ask, how does someone start planning an at-home dinner that competes with what you expect in a five-star restaurant? I mean, are you showing up in a chef coat or setting up a whole dining experience with candles and jazz music?
Yeah, I mean, it was, you got to take it pretty seriously. You got to start marketing yourself well, and you only get one chance at a first impression. So if it's bad, all these people are basically walking business cards. Your food is your business card. You feed them well, you treat them well, and they'll tell their friends about their experience. So, I mean, I would show up with a server or two, depending on how many people it was. I'd be in a full chef coat. Most of the prep was done beforehand, and then I'd show up about an hour and a half, 2 hours before dinner, kind of get everything set up, and then usually do between a 5 and 6 course meal. And then I did catering for large weddings and parties and events as well. Really, the whole goal initially was just to pay off my student loans from culinary school because I owed about $142,000. So, just trying to make my ends meet. I was married, trying to put it all together. I mean, at one point I had 4 full-time jobs, basically in the same year. It was a lot of pressure, but you don't get where you want to get without working hard.
I know that's right. Well, taking a step back from the commercial kitchen to teach high school students was a big move for you. And how did this transition happen? And was it more about sharing your passion, or was it also to finally stop screaming at people to chop vegetables faster, like Gordon fucking Ramsay?
I mean, you don't teach high school and stop screaming. You teach high school and scream more. That's really the whole thing. I was actually a worship leader at a pretty big church here in town, and I got a call from the principal of Blackman High School, and she was actually the vice principal at my school when I went to high school. And she asked me if I wanted to be the culinary teacher. It was mid of the semester, right after fall break. I didn't have a teaching license. I've never taught school before. I know nothing about teaching. I don't even like kids. And she was like, just come in and interview. Let's see if you can make it work. And really, I mean, the pay is shit. Teachers get paid terrible. It was like $32,000 a year. The budget for the kitchen was trash. It was $1,500 for a full year of teaching 5 classes a day how to cook. But the idea that you could be a chef and work from 7:30 to 3:30 with weekends off, holidays off, Christmas break, summer off, it's a pretty sweet gig. So it was only a 3-year stint. I took it and I was able to still cater and make music and do all those things. But really, I mean, I would say teaching a high school, it was probably one of the most influential jobs I had in getting me outside of a comfort zone, because I had to push myself to learn new things so I could teach these students new things. And it was good. I mean, I quit teaching 10 years ago, and there's still students today that I talk to.
Oh, that's good to hear.
That's cool. It was cool.
So, from your time in the kitchens like Spoon and Stable to Blackberry Farm, it sounds like you had it sounds like you had quite a journey refining your craft. Out of all the chefs and restaurants you've learned from, who was the biggest influence on your style and philosophy in the kitchen?
That's a tough question. I don't know that I have one single chef that was the biggest influence. I've tried to make myself a pretty big student of life and just learn everywhere I go and take the good and the bad, and don't do the bad and do the good, or try to improve on the good. Gavin Kaysen at Spoon and Stable, I did a stage there. I didn't work there. I was there for 1 week. I went to Minneapolis. I paid for the flight. I paid for the Airbnb, and I worked 5 shifts, 10 to 12 hours for no pay. It was all for free. And I did that just so I can learn, because you only know what you've been exposed to in life. And if you don't expose yourself to new things, new techniques, new cuisines, then you're going to be stuck. And I will say that restaurant, the hospitality from those people, from the second I walked in to the second I left, was unrivaled. They all treated me with respect. I was a new guy that just walked in their kitchen. And from the second I walked in, it was, hey, chef, how are you? We're going to have you right here. Let us know if you need anything. Other places I've gone, they'll stick you in the corner and have you picking mint leaves for 3 hours, and they don't give a shit about who you are, what you want to know. You're almost an annoyance to them. Whereas Gavin and his team treated it with respect and honor, that someone wanted to spend their time and come here and learn from them. And, that's been 8 years, and I could call Gavin right now and he'd answer the phone. And he's become a friend and a mentor. And it's rare to find people like that truly want to help you succeed and get to be a better person. And it's important that you find them, because so many people are scared of either competition or sharing their secrets, that, it's going to take their shine away. But that's just not the way it works in reality. I mean, it's the opposite. Like, you help someone get somewhere, they're going to remember that. Hopefully they're going to help someone get somewhere. And that just plants a seed of gratitude, and it forwards the progression of everybody. It doesn't make you worse to help someone. It makes you better. And Gavin's got that.
Alrighty. Well, we've got to get into it. Like, we've got to get in really fucking into it. Hell's Kitchen. You were on the show and you came out on the top, because I didn't watch that season of Hell's Kitchen, but I had a gut feeling that you would win the title, and now here you are as the winner of season 21 of Hell's Kitchen. But let's be real. What was the most stressful part, if you don't mind me asking? And was it the competition, or was it Gordon Ramsay's eyes that could burn a hole through steel?
It was sleeping. That was the biggest stress at Hell's Kitchen. It was, honestly, the cooking and the competition and the dinner services wasn't that bad. It was going to sleep at 2:30 or 3 in the morning and waking up at 5:30 in the morning. And you're sleeping on a twin-sized bed with no air conditioning, with 4 other dudes in your room that are on CPAP machines, and you're sharing 2 toilets with 18 people. That's that's tough when you're, used to your home and sleeping in a certain way. Honestly, it was a blast, but the hardest part was just getting rest and feeling ready to go the next day.
Gotcha. So I want to add on a little bit more of this, if that's cool with you.
Yeah.
To clarify, the season that you were in Hell's Kitchen, it was titled Young Guys. I mean, 20 somethings versus 40 somethings, and all of the 20s were in the red team, and all of the 40s were in the blue team. So, but then and on this after the second episode, it was back to how Hell's Kitchen was normally started in season 2, with all the women in the red team and all the men in the blue team. So, what was that experience like for you? Because I didn't really expect it. I did remember in season 18, rookies versus veterans, when it was a similar thing, except after that season, the men were in the red team and the women were in the blue team. So how did that sort of unexpected scene from Gordon Ramsay got to you?
Yeah, I mean, it was called Battle of the Ages when we initially
Battle of the Ages.
Yeah, when we initially all signed up, you don't know the theme, you don't know where the job is, you don't know anything until you start filming. And so we're all outside of HK waiting for Gordon to show up. And then he drops the bomb and says, "You're not going to be divided into men and women. You're going to be divided by ages." And at that point, I basically was like, well, we're cooked. That's the reality. In the restaurant industry, the older you get, the less you cook.
Right.
And cooking is a young woman's game. It's physically demanding. It's stressful. And as you get older, you learn management skills, and you have to deal with P&Ls and invoices and hiring and firing and training. And, you're more of the management side. So immediately in my mind, I was thinking, I'm going to be on a team with a bunch of people that haven't cooked in 10 years. And it kind of proved to be true after the first 2 episodes when, basically my team was getting assassinated by all these 20-year-olds.
Yeah, because I did remember, I was kind of hoping for the 40s would win because when it started, because because they're in a blue team, and fun fact, blue is actually my favorite color. But I was actually wrong. The blue team got their ass beat twice.
Yeah, it was rough. I mean, it was, but these 20, you got to think, the 40-year-olds, when we first started cooking, Michelin restaurants, James Beard restaurants, chefs weren't really a thing in the early 2000s. It was, that's been a big push in the last 15, 20 years. So all these young kids have been working for Daniel Belew and 11 Madison Park and Grant Achatz at Alinea and Royster. And so my team had been used to making steaks and baked potatoes, and these kids were making squid ink pasta with uni and truffles, and they were just in a whole nother dynamic. So the competition was definitely, it was hard. It was, it was hard for some of us for sure.
Oh yeah. When people think of chefs, they often think about the kitchen, but you're also part of the band Reckless Eden. I hope I said that right. Is it Eden or Eden?
Eden.
Eden. Alrighty. And how does being a part of a band help you in your culinary work, if at all? And are there any similarities between creating music and creating a meal?
I wouldn't say being in a band helps in the culinary field, but it's all the same team mentality. Like you're in a band, you're in a brigade. Everybody's got to do their specific task. Everybody has a different gift or a gifted talent, like a different talent they bring to the table. And everybody needs to be listened to and heard, and you need to take their opinions and what they have to say and, manage that well and respect everybody. So in that way, it's still a team dynamic. But, for me, my entire life has been music and food. That's been it. And there are a ton of chefs that are musicians, a ton. And there are a ton of musicians that either consider themselves chefs or love to cook, especially on the road. I've got some friends of mine that are in a band, and they take their Traeger smoker with them on the road when they're on tour, and they're grilling, they're smoking, they're doing all those things, and they're feeding the band and the crew. It's they're both things that nourish your soul, that speak to you, and they both require creativity. So to me, they're different avenues, but they're very related. I mean, they're both food and music come from the soul. Like you can eat something or smell something that someone cooked, and you can be transported to 20 years ago when you first had it. You can hear a song and you can be transported to 20 years ago when you first heard it. So food and music, to me, they're the universal love languages.
Alrighty, so winning competitions like the charity Chopped and being named fan favorite of the Chef Taste Challenge in New Orleans, these aren't just wins, these are like statements, including your recent win in Hell's Kitchen. When you step into a competition, how do you prepare mentally? Are you the type of who gets into the zone like a fighter preparing for a big match?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not there to come in second. I mean, I don't want to. If I'm going to enter a competition, I'm very competitive. So
Oh,
I'm going with the intention of doing my best, no matter what happens. I don't take it seriously. I spend a lot of time researching and studying beforehand, and I try to bring all the knives out. I want to do the best I can. I don't want to put out an inferior product. I want everyone to know that I tried my best. And I mean, it's paid off usually. I mean, I've lost several things too, but yeah, that's just who I am. I just want to do the best work I can. My
oh,
favorite quote is from Aristotle. It's oh God, now I've forgotten it. Now I forgot it. Excellence is excellence is a habit, not an act. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, therefore, is not an act, but a habit. So if you can constantly be habitual about trying to be excellent in what you do, at some point it will become a habit to try to be excellent. You don't have to fake it. Everything you do, you approach with the same level of intensity and purpose.
gotcha. And you explained that you didn't want to come second, probably explains the win of Hell's Kitchen.
I mean, I didn't really go to Hell's Kitchen to win, honestly. I went to shake my life up. I owned a small restaurant in the middle of the pandemic, and it was brutal. So I needed something to just wake me up and get me out of the mental
Gotcha.
headspace that I was in. I didn't think I would win. You know,
Oh,
when
okay.
you apply, you have no idea who's going to be on that show competing against you.
Right.
On day
Right. Yeah.
one, I saw these kids cranking out these dishes, and I was like, I don't stand a chance. I mean, I looked at Sakari's dish, and and Daphne, and they made pasta from scratch and all this stuff. And I was like, I've got a piece of salmon and some rice. Like, but if you're good at what you do, food doesn't have to be complicated to be delicious. You can do things simple, but if you do them well, then they're going to be great. And that's, sometimes the refining process is taking away things, not adding things, and letting the ingredients speak for themselves.
Gotcha. And I think I forgot to ask. It was on my head, but real quick. What, if I may ask, what was your favorite challenge in Hell's Kitchen, if you can remember?
Mm, the wok challenge was pretty fun. You were stuck using just one type of pan to cook in. Every 5 minutes, we had to run down to the dining room to grab a different ingredient that we didn't know what it was going to be. So having to really think on your feet and incorporate some random ingredient into a dish that you were already conceptualizing, that was that was pretty cool. It was fun.
All right. Because like I didn't like watch this season 21 when it was like live. I watched it on Disney Plus and Hulu, and Hulu and Disney Plus. Well, Disney Plus is part of Hulu, and I take a break sometimes from watching it because sometimes the eliminations be giving me motherfucking anxiety, if you know what I mean. Like
Yeah,
the
try living through it.
Yeah, like Gordon Ramsay's like shows like MasterChef, Hell's Kitchen, and all that. They sometimes give me anxiety, but I just like try to tell myself it is what it is. So, oh, but enough of that. Your culinary program at Blackman High School is legendary, having won the NRA post start championship in 2014. What was the secret sauce behind the success, and was it all in the teaching, or did your students have the best school lunches in the world?
I got the phone call 3 weeks before the competition. I'd never even heard of it. There had been teams that have been practicing for 6 months for Pro Start. And I was really lucky that I had 4 students, in particular, these 4 students that really love to cook and really love food, and they were smart and dialed in. And, I asked them if they wanted to do it. And over the next 3 weeks, we spent a lot of time working on a menu, working on our knife cuts. And, I got some help from another friend of mine who's a chef in Nashville, and he came and showed them some things. But it was really about, I did what I could do, but those 4 students, they worked their asses off, and they went home and they were cutting up chickens and working on knife cuts and perfecting these recipes. So it was a little bit of me, but it was a whole lot of them. So I'd say it's all them.
Gotcha. And I'm going to go ahead and move on to the last 2 questions because I don't want to hold up much of your time. What's next for you? I know the restaurant industry and the culinary world are consistently evolving. So do you have big plans you can share with us? Should we be on the lookout for a new restaurant or a cookbook or?
I ain't never going to open a restaurant again. I'll tell you that much. That was the hardest 5 years of my life. But Thursday, I go to Fort Lauderdale for Fort Lauderdale Food and Wine. So I'm doing 4 days there. Then we go to Nicaragua. I'm cooking there at the end of January, February. I've got a bunch of private dinners in February. My band is releasing a song this Friday, and our full record comes out on Valentine's Day. And, my life is very weird. There's no rhythm to it. There's no stability. So every month is kind of trying to figure out what's next. And that's kind of the fun part of it. My wife would totally disagree with you. That's not fun at all for her. But I still own a meal prep company, and that's going well. And it's just kind of about, I want to wake up every day and say, I get to do this, not I have to do this. So I'm trying to figure out how to keep doing that. And January and February are figured out. After that, I don't know.
Alrighty. Well, before we wrap up, I've got one final fun question. If you were stranded on a desert island and could only bring one dish with you, what would it be and why? And you can't just say boiled custard in a mason jar, but I'm tempted to allow it.
One whole dish or one ingredient?
Doesn't matter.
I would probably just bring ground beef, honestly. Like, it's one of those things that never gets old. You could make it into a burger. You could make it into ground beef and just eat it plain. It's got good protein. It's good. It's good in fat. It would sustain you. And yeah, that's, I know that's probably a very boring answer, but I'm looking at it from I'm trying to survive mode. I'm not going to bring I'd really love an escargot with garlic butter. I don't want to eat snails every day. I'm trying to survive. So I'm going to go with ground beef.
Yeah, because the sun in the desert is so fucking hot. You can use the sun to cook the burger instead of bringing an oven with you.
I hope I don't ever have to use the sun to cook anything, but no one knows what's going to happen.
Alrighty, well, that's all the time we've got today. Chef Alex, thank you so much for joining me on the Bubble Chat. It's always been a dream of mine to interview someone, whether it's from national TV or as a content creator, and I cannot believe that dream has finally came, and ever since I started podcasting back in 2022, I've always had that dream, and I never give up on it. And to all my listeners, be sure to check out his project that he mentioned, and remember, don't watch Hell's Kitchen on an empty stomach, or any Gordon Ramsay show for that matter.
For sure.
We'll be right back after this break.
All right.
All right, it's time to move on It's time to move on to something super fun. Want to kick off this next segment with our favorite mystery game. Now, here's how it works. We just got some wild, wacky scenarios lined up, and we're going to have our co-hosts have no idea what's going on. We'll be throwing out some mysteries. We'll have them guess, try and find out the answer, whether it's pop culture twist, crazy conspiracy, mind-bending, mind-blowing questions. You will not want to miss out on this. And nephew, you better not mention you know who. So let's jump right on into the next thing and see if you can handle the heat. Is you ready to go? Are you ready to play? Are you ready to go? Are you ready to play?
We are.
Okay.
I'm ready.
All right. So I came across this thing. Let me show you. I love it.
Oh,
The Blockbuster game. Is this dope? Right? It's so nostalgic, right? Okay.
yeah.
So we have 9 movie titles, and they fall into different categories. But as we know, all movies have a storyline and a star. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to give you some clues, and either you're going to pick out the title of the movie or the star of the movie. Are you ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now they did make a movie called Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, but they never did a dessert movie and they never did a lunch movie. But there was a first movie classic, and it was about breakfast. Could you please tell me the name and the location of that place? Let me say it again. This is a classic movie. So it was probably back in the 50s, 1950s.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about dinner. No, we had a movie called Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. This one is about breakfast. Where are we having breakfast this morning, and what is the name? It's named after the famous diamond company.
Tiffany and Company.
There we go. Well, breakfast at Tiffany's. I'll take it for 200. All right. Now, since we're talking about breakfast and dinner, they got this game out here. It's a survival game.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me what type of survival game this is? Is this a starving game? Is this a thirsty game? What is this movie called?
Survival.
They got the kids out there fighting for their life in a goddamn competition.
Squid Games.
Who?
Squid Games.
Not squid. Now we can eat the squid, but to eat the squid, you have to be what?
Oh, wait, The Hunger Games.
We go. I'll take it for
What is
200.
What is it?
The Hunger Games.
Hunger Games.
Hunger Game.
Yes. Now, there's an assistant man named Bosley. And the women that work for him, they don't know this man. They ain't never seen him a day. He ain't nothing but a voice in a goddamn box.
Charlie's Angels.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Now, Now they got a song that says, "You know, you make me want to shout. Put your hands up and shout." Right? Okay.
Blues Brothers.
If you don't shout,
The Blues
and you don't
Brothers.
holler, what would you be doing?
Hold on. Hey, do you know this?
Blues Brothers.
Do you know Destiny's Child was part of the Charlie Angel soundtrack?
Yes. Independent Woman. Question part 1 and 2. Now, this movie is a one-word name, and as I have said, there's a song, and it says, "You know, you make me want to shout, put my hands up and shout." Okay, or you could holler.
Scream.
There we go. Look at
Scream.
that. All right, now we're gonna go down animation lane. Okay, we're gonna be talking about Disney, and we're talking about the princesses. Now we're not talking about the princesses like this. We're talking about the princesses like this.
Gotcha.
But there's only one frog princess. Now I'm gonna help you and coach you get to the right.
It's obviously the President Frog.
No, it ain't her. It ain't her. It ain't her. It ain't her. It's
Cinderella.
Princess Jasmine from Aladdin. Can you tell me the colored princesses upon the Disney franchise?
The colors?
The colored princesses. We got Pocahontas. We got the frog.
Princess Tiana. Moana.
Uh-huh. What about the Asian one?
Mulan.
All right, that's the name. I'll give it to you for 300. Now, the famous line to this movie He says, I'll be back.
The Terminator.
All
Arnold
right.
Schwarzenegger,
Look at you was on a roll. And
I'll be back.
now these last two cards, these last two movies have two great comical actors. One is white, one is black. Those are the hints that I want to give you, right? Now, you special if you can interact and talk to animals. What's the doctor that could talk to animals?
Dr. Doolittle.
Doolittle.
And what's the actor's name?
Eddie Murphy.
All right, very, very good. I'll give you that for 200. And the next one is he is a comical maniac. He started his career off on In Living Color.
Jim Carrey.
All right, and what was his first blockbuster movie?
The Mask.
There we go. Look at that. Okay, I got to give you 50 and 50. Y'all got that. That was very, very good. Y'all got time for 2, 3 more cards?
Sure.
All right. Ooh, this is a good one. That's a good one. They're gonna be a twister. They're not gonna get that one real good. All right. Boom. All right. Now, it's not Disney. What's the other people? What is it? Pixar? The Pixar people? Okay, so this is an
They're part of
animation
Disney,
movie.
so.
This is an animation movie. Animation is all about family, but this particular animation movie is based around the family. And the mama got the coldest body in animation history. Can you please tell me who these people are?
The Incredibles.
There we go. All right, come on now. Now, everybody loves the mafia. Am I right? Everyone loves a good mafia story, right? And what is the classic mafia movie called? There is a motorcycle club named after the same.
Cars?
Area.
Cars?
No, son. No. Come on. I know you think, and I see you over there working, Mommy. Look, I see it's a mob crime, Italian-based movie.
Is it a Pixar movie?
No, it's not. No, it's not a cartoon at all. And there is a motorcycle club here in the Bay Area.
Hell's Angels.
Huh?
Hell's Angels.
No. Like this. Not like this. Like this.
I don't fucking know.
What is a name you would call a guy? He's not a guy. He's a man.
Soul Brothers.
No. Keep going.
The Blues Brothers.
If you're not bad, but you are
Good Guys.
Come on, it's not guy. It's not a guy. Good what?
Godfather.
It's good somebody. It's
Goodfellas.
There we go. All right, look, I had to feed you that one. I'm gonna give you 2 cents on that one. Now this last one. I used to love singing this song when I was a kid because I was a badass kid. And I had done did the remix. I was walking in class and I was saying, hi ho, it's off to work we go. Now, could you imagine what princess classic Disney movie?
Snow White.
Huh?
Snow White.
In the what?
And the 7 Dwarfs.
All right. That's what I'm talking about. Look, y'all ate it up tonight. You guys like that game?
Yes.
This game is really, really cool. I like it too. Well, Bubblers, we hope that you enjoyed it because guess what? It's a motherfucking wrap for today's episodes. We have hope that you enjoyed the conversation and that we are leaving you with some fresh thoughts and a good laugh. But before we go, we want you to know. We want to know. Not you. We want to know. Us here, the panel here on the Bubble Chat, we want to know, what did you think about today? And what did you think about the discussed topics that we went over? Whether it's the latest celebrity drama or big news stories, we'd love to hear your thoughts. So drop us a comment, send us a DM, and keep us in the conversation so it can keep going. It's time to clock the fuck out, but don't you worry. The Bubble Chat will be back for more juicy topics, interviews, and fun for the next time. As always, be sure to subscribe, share, and stay tuned for more. Keep it bubbly, stay safe, and remember to never stop chatting.
Peace out, y'all.
Peace out.
Peace out, folks.